Hey everybody, it's Sarah thrifting for the nest. How's everybody doing? It's been a while since I have posted a YouTube video, but wanted to get a haul up today. So if you follow me on Instagram, you'll see my horrible, sad saga about throwing my back out a couple of weeks ago. So I haven't been able to go to the bin in a couple of weeks. After the first few days of laying low and resting after throwing my back out, I did some retail shopping at the Goodwill and did pretty well with that. Was able to kind of maintain my business during that time with some retail sales, but of course I'm spending way more money thrifting at the Goodwill. Have to be a lot more selective, so I'm not bringing home quite as much stuff. I had a little bit of a backlog, a death pile, a money pile, as some like to call it, which is actually why I always like to keep a little bit of a backlog, because I was able to work off of that for the last couple of weeks and then supplement it with a couple of trips to the Goodwill retail stores. So today was the first day in 2 weeks that I was able to get to the bins. It's also summer break, so I had to wait until my husband could hang out with my kids, because I don't take my kids to the bins. It's too chaotic, in my opinion, for kiddos, and I think my kids would lose interest pretty quickly. I've taken them for short trips here and there. They could probably stand about 30 to 45 minutes of shopping at the bins, but that's about their attention span, and I usually like to try to get at least a couple of hours in when I go. So I went this morning. Like I said, spent 2 hours and I got 70 pounds in 2 hours, and the majority of that came from one row of bins when I first got there. And it had actually already been pretty picked over by the time I got there. It was just a really full row of bins, and it was full of what do you call it? When the retail stores get rid of their inventory and send it to the bins, because they were all tagged items. So the majority of my 70 pounds actually came from that one bin, and then I just filled up the rest from a couple of more rotations. So 2 hours was perfect amount of time for me to be there today, and my back is doing well. Surprisingly, didn't have any pain. I took it really slow and easy, but actually, because I had to take it slow and easy in the bins, I think that it made me a better picker today, because I looked at every item in the bin instead of grabbing like giant mounds of clothes and throwing them where I could possibly miss some items that would be worth picking. So I just took my time in the bins, and that paid off for me really well today. So if you don't mind, I'm here to show you a haul. Sorry it's been a while, but you know, life happens. It's summer. Hanging out with my kids this summer. I'm going to talk a little bit about how I'm doing that. Actually, let's just get right into that. You know me, I'm not scripted or planned on these. I just go off the cuff. So it's summer, and I have a third and a first grader now, and one of the reasons why I sell on eBay is so that I can be home with my kids when they need me to be home with them. So I felt really strongly going into this summer that I did not want them to have to compete with my attention, compete for my attention in my business. So I'm just getting up at 5 in the morning, and I'm working until about 8 in the morning. So there's only about an hour overlap, and my boys watch cartoons for an hour when they first wake up in the morning anyway. So that gives me basically 3 hours to wake up, have my coffee. I usually get a few listings done and get my shipping completed. So, and then I'm taking about an hour either in the evening or the afternoon, because they get some video game time in the afternoon, or time that they play Legos. You know, they're brothers, so they don't need me to constantly supervise them. In fact, we're kind of hitting that stage where they're like, okay, Mom, can you leave now so we can play? So I take that hour in the afternoons, and then maybe an additional hour after they go to bed to do my photography. So that's working pretty well for me right now. Sourcing is a little bit different. This first couple weeks of summer, I haven't been able to go to the bins because of my back. So that's actually been pretty good for everybody. And so my husband will be helping me out on the weekends. I'll probably make more Saturday bin runs to go to the outlets, because like I said, I won't take my kiddos to the outlet for long trips. But they have gone with me to Goodwill retail stores. They've got about an hour attention span, and where they're actually enjoying themselves. And we go off from there to go play at the park or go do something else. So I'm really, really focused on balance this summer. it's the beginning of the summer, so maybe check in with me at the end of the summer. I don't always follow through with my goals, but that really is my heart and my intention, is to be there for my kids during their summers. So that said, let's get this haul going, you guys. I got 70 pounds, so I got a lot of stuff, and I feel like I got a lot of really good stuff. Maybe it's just I was so excited because it's been so long since I've been to the bins, but here we go. So this is not a coat brand I normally pick up. You can see the tag nice and big from that angle. So it's this Jerry brand. The only reason why I picked this up, because I pass on this brand all the time, and it's not like, if you look up comps, they're not that exciting, but it's the faux fur hood, which is a plus, and it's a long women's jacket, like a quilted, and it's also down filled. So I figured, you know, I could probably get at least 30 to 40 for this jacket. So I probably paid a good $4. It's about 3 to 4 pounds for the jacket, because remember, I pay 99 cents a pound at the Goodwill Outlet by my house when you buy over 25 pounds. So everything that I bought today is 99 cents a pound, so I'm just giving you an estimate weight. So yeah, about 4 pounds, or $4, 4 pounds for this jacket. So, but I think it will pay off. I mean, if it sells for 40 bucks, I'm okay with that, even if it waits until the fall. I picked this up. It's a Calvin Klein sweatshirt, and I'm pretty picky with Calvin Klein, but it's a Calvin Klein XX men's sweatshirt, and I like the style of it, and figured I could get probably about 16 to 20 for this. I haven't done a what sold video in quite a while. I don't know if I'll pick those back up again. I like what Nicole Stayed at States Place is doing right now on Instagram, where she's showing her sales, because I think that gives her daily sales, because it gives all of us an idea of what things are actually selling for on eBay. Because it's one thing for me to tell you everything that I bought, but and what I think it's going to sell for, but it's a completely different thing when you're looking at actual market pricing, what stuff is actually selling for. So I like that idea. I might pick that up. Maybe I'll do it on YouTube. I'm not sure, but I think it's important as resellers, if we're sharing our business with you guys, that you're also seeing what we're actually selling. Because sometimes we think we're going to sell an item for 30 bucks, but it actually sells for 12. That happens. On the flip side, sometimes we think an item's going to sell for 15, and we come home and we pull comps and it's going to sell for 40. So it all evens out. All right, I picked this item up. It's a Key denim, like striped denim. I do really well with their overalls. I didn't even look up comps on the shirts, but I figured because of their overall pricing, those are always givens for me to pick up at the bins. I just figured I'd pick this up too. So anyway, here's Key, and you'll see, like I said, you'll see a lot of overalls out at the thrift with that brand. But it should sell, I'm thinking, for 15 to 20 at least. But again, I'm going blind on that because I didn't actually pull comps, so I'm speculating, which I tell my kids all the time, don't speculate. Here I am speculating. This is a brand that I recently started picking up about 6 months ago, and it's done really well for me. It's Garnet Hill. Many of you are already pretty familiar with it. I may have shown it before on a previous haul video, but it's a stretchy floral maxi dress. It's super cute. I'm thinking I should be able to get at least 20, 25 for this dress. Picked up some Nike sports bras today. Got a good handful of those. Those are always good for, you know, $10 to $20 depending on the style and condition. I don't always pick up Eddie Bauer, kind of same category as Calvin Klein for me, but it is an XL tall. You see that? And so any of the tall sizes, the larger tall sizes, do really well for me. So I'm thinking I should get at least 18 for this one. Got some Chicos. This is good bread and butter for me, you guys. You're always seeing me pull Chicos from the bins. It's a size 1, so not the best size, but it's a cute cardigan in really great condition. All right, you know that I don't love selling pants on eBay, but I'm turning a corner a little bit because I've had some pretty good success with pants, and I think the key with pants is just know your brands and price them right. So with enough research, I've actually been able to do pretty well with pants lately. I've sold a couple pairs of Hudson's before. Um, they're khaki pants, so I don't know this style, if it's going to be as popular as the denim. I know Hudson's not selling for quite as much as it used to, but I figured for $1 a pound, it was worth picking up. The Goodwill retail had this priced at $25, so no wonder this went to the bins. I feel like sometimes they're just like, hey, let's throw this high price on and see what happens. I haven't tried this brand out before. I usually always pass on H&M unless it's super cute. But I've heard that the Conscious collection does pretty well on eBay. So here's the, I don't know if it's going to show very well, H&M Conscious collection tag. It's this, I think it's a really pretty like pink, almost like a buccal knit sweater. So we'll see how this does. I feel like, and I've said it before, I like to use the bins and their pricing as a training ground. So most things, if they're in good condition, are worth trying out at the bins. And then once you learn the value of a brand, then you can go to the retail stores or Salvation Army and you'll know that it's worth buying for a higher dollar amount. So it's good to get your training in on the ground floor at the bins. I couldn't pass this up. It's a 40th anniversary Disney sweatshirt, Disneyland sweatshirt. Disneyland, right? Not Disney World. Yeah, Disneyland. It's in great condition. And it's the Disney Designs tag. Are we going to show up? Anyway, anytime you see this vintage tag, even though it's blurry, it's a good one to pick up if it's in good condition. And this thing doesn't have stains. Like usually these 20-year-old sweaters have tons of stains and holes and dinginess, but this one's in great condition for its age. All right, this is cashmere. I didn't even really look it up. This is another brand that I normally pass on, but I will pick up any cashmere sweaters as long as it's not completely destroyed, because if it has a couple of holes or it's not in like the best condition, I'll lot all my cashmere together and sell it by the pound. I will say, however, that trick has worked for me in the 5 years I have sold on eBay, but I have had a 5-pound cashmere lot of sweaters with holes in it up in my store for probably over 6 months now, and it has not sold. I think the price is down to like $39 plus shipping, and then I'm running sales on that all the time, and it still hasn't sold. So I don't know if it's just the colors that I have, or maybe I need more weight, but that trick's not working for me currently. I'm still collecting the sweaters. Maybe it's not the season. I know a lot of people use it for crafting, and so maybe we need to get into winter months for crafting with cashmere. So I've got probably another 20 sweaters in a box upstairs that I will maybe lot together with that, maybe just sell everything as a larger lot. I'm not sure. I've got to play around with it. Check comps again. It's always good to recheck your comps, right? So if something's not selling for what it used to or what you think it should, maybe it's outdated pricing that you're thinking about or that you're relying on. So the market's always changing on eBay, so it's always a really good idea to, if something's not selling and you think that it should be selling because you've sold it before in the past for that price, pull current comps and see, and when I say comps, I mean completed listings, see what stuff is actually selling for, look at the sell-through rate, and adjust your pricing if needed. And then if it's just not selling anymore, then stop picking it up, because I've had to do that with a few brands too. Okay, if you're following me on Instagram, you may have seen a couple months ago, or maybe a month ago, I stopped at a garage sale, and the lady had a lot of really great brands on the table, and her pricing was kind of all over the place, like $2 for pants, $3 for sweaters, and she had a lot of stuff. And as I was looking, there was a bunch of like brand new Nike with tags. You could tell, I think she was a Nike employee or had somebody in her family who was a Nike employee. And so I offered her $50 for everything on the table, all the clothes. It ended up, when I counted it, ended up being about 100 pieces of viable clothing, like resellable clothing that didn't have holes or flaws in it. And in that stuff, there was a lot of like Nike and athletic wear, higher end brands, nothing designer, nothing major, but stuff that was typically in like the $15 to $25 range for reseller value. But she had a lot of express pieces, and I've never picked up express at the bins. But the express stuff is the first stuff to sell. Of course, I priced it really low, like in the $8 to $12 price range, but it sold really quickly. So now when I'm at the bins and I see express, I don't always just throw it back. I learned from that lesson that Express still sells if it's a good style. So that said, I picked up this piece. Oh my goodness, sorry, it's kind of a funky piece because it ties at the shoulders. So it's this blouse. It's this floral, and it's 100% silk. So I figured, okay, because it's 100% silk and it's this pretty floral pattern, and this pattern seems to be a pattern that sells well on eBay, just this floral, colorful style. That those are two wins for me, and it just happens to be the Express brand, so it's worth something, right? I figure even if this sells for $15, it's going to be a good pickup because it's silk and it weighs nothing. This piece probably cost me about 30 cents. If I'm guessing right. So it's Express. Again, I don't pick up all Express, but I'm giving it a second look now because of the experience that I had with that garage sale lot that I picked up. Come August, kids' coats start flying off my shelf, and I don't have a lot in my store. Coats are one of the only kids items that I consistently buy, that and then kids athletic gear. So I picked up this Columbia. It's like a soft fleece. It's their Omni Heat, so it has the dot pattern, reflective dot pattern inside. So these go easy, $15 to $25 depending on condition in the right season for me. So I think if I put this jacket up in August, I will probably get about $20 to $25 for this jacket. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure that I'm stocking up on those Columbia jackets or any like decent middle to high-end brand kids coat because they sell really well. So of course, like that means your Nike, Adidas, any Gymboree, even though those are kind of mid-range as far as price are concerned, those are still going to sell really well. Those are brands that parents trust and they know, they're pretty familiar with the sizing, how it fits their kids. So if you price it right, it's going to sell pretty quickly in the fall. Here's another Disneyland piece that I picked up, and it's a newer piece, I think. It's a hoodie. It's in great condition. I don't know if it's ever been worn, but if people are going to Disneyland and they don't want to spend the money at the parks for hoodies and sweatshirts and gear, they will go on eBay and buy it. So picked that up basically because of the condition that it was in. Picked up this Victoria's Secret. It's like a cardigan, like a crocheted cardigan sweater. Nothing too fancy, but because it's Victoria's Secret and it weighs hardly anything, I figured it was worth a shot. I almost threw this back just because of the material. Like I grabbed it when I grabbed a pile of clothes and I was like, oh, that's just a plain t-shirt. But then I saw this trim and that caught my attention. And then I'm glad I looked at it again because it's a logo by Lori Goldstein. Let's see if I can get that to focus. There we go. This brand goes so well, so quickly, and like I'd say the $18 to $30 range, depending on the style. I'm thinking I'll get about $20 for this piece. It is a little bit color faded. Like I said, this is like a t-shirt material. So this thin, stretchy material, especially if it's a plus size piece, will go for more. But couldn't pass this up, knowing that I could probably flip it for about that much. So I'm trying to make sure that I'm purchasing items that I know will sell even for a lower dollar amount, because I'm really working on getting all buyers to my stores, not just the buyers that are wanting to spend $30 and up, but the buyers that only have, say, a $15 budget for an item. So I picked this Tommy Hilfiger sweater up. It's a women's sweater. It's a size small. I don't think I'll get more than like $10 to $12 for this, honestly, but it's those sales, those $10 to $12 sales, that are consistently bringing more business into my store. I have been playing around with this for a few months and it's really working for me. So there was a time that I only bought items that I thought could make me over $20. And while that's all fine and good, it makes my average price point higher. What I found is I was just selling less consistently. But when I was bringing in items into my store that had a lower price point, I was selling those, which in turn was making the eBay algorithm really happy and bringing other buyers to my higher dollar items, if that makes any sense. I definitely have not cracked the Cassini code, understanding what the algorithm wants, but I'm finding that it's too much of a coincidence that when I have $10 items selling in my store, then my $30, $40, $50 items start selling more frequently. So I am picking up items that I never would have picked up before, as long as they're in good condition and they're familiar brands, not no-name brands, but familiar brands that people are looking for. Even if this sweater sells for $6, I'm okay with that because I spent maybe 65 cents on it. That's working for me right now. Check with me again in 6 months. It might not be working for me then, but right now it seems to be working really well. Then also, I mean, honestly, I'll price it at $15, and if somebody offers me $8 for it, I will take it. So it's kind of falling in line with that. Buying items, putting items in your store that you're okay taking lower dollar items or lower dollars for. That definitely doesn't work for all of my things. There are things, if I buy it at a retail store and I spend $10 for it with the expectation that I'm going to sell it for $50 and somebody comes in and makes a $20 offer or even a $30 offer, I'm going to be pretty hesitant to accept that offer unless it's been in my store for over 6 months, if that makes sense. And then at that point, I just chalk it up to, well, this wasn't a good buy. So anyway, that's my current philosophy on eBay algorithms. Picked up these Victoria's Secret pants. They are holiday pants, like they have Christmas trees and bows and things on them, but you know, I've been doing pretty well with just basic Victoria's Secret pajama pants. Here's another pair of pants that I picked up. They're Chico's pants. I really love this color. They're Chico's. They're a size 0.5, not a great size for reselling if I'm being honest, but I like the style quite a bit. I don't know, they're a cotton spandex blend, but they're nice and they're good for summer. So I'm still attracting those summer buyers. They're still good for fall. So I'm happy with that. All right, guys, one bag is emptied out of 4 bags. So hang with me. This is a long video. It's going to be a long video. I don't usually pick up white stuff from the bins because it's inevitably very dingy, but this is a really good condition Columbia long sleeve shirt. Probably won't sell this for more than $10 or $12, but it's one of those good bread and butter items to have, and it's in fantastic condition. Not even sure if it's been worn yet. Well, it's been worn. Not very much. We'll just say that. Okay, I don't always pick up Gap, but it's new with tags Gap. This should sell for about $15. New with tags Gap. Hey, it even has the receipt attached to it. It must have been a gift for somebody. I'm always interested. This was purchased originally in Bend, Oregon, in 2012. So it's a 5-year-old sweater, but it's never been worn. This brand is probably nothing. I didn't even look up comps, but I really liked the sweater. It's like a sequined, sparkly knit sweater. It's long. It's like a long tunic sweater. It's this Lily brand. Honestly, picked it up for the style. Maybe I'll keep it. I think that I can wear it. I really like it. So sometimes you buy it because you really like it. All right. Oh, I didn't check this. See, silly me. I didn't check it. I'll probably sell it. I'll probably put it up on auction. It's vintage Abercrombie & Fitch. Check this tag out. You know Abercrombie's totally lost its value for most things. But it's a cashmere wool scarf, and it's vintage. But I was in a hurry, and I didn't even open it up. I know better. It's cashmere wool. Of course it's going to have holes in it. Anyway, it has holes in it. I'm going to auction it. I'll probably start it at 99 cents. And if it sells, it sells. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Speaking of Abercrombie, I got another Abercrombie piece, but it's this jacket, and I really liked the style of jacket. It's wool, double-breasted pea coat. It looks like, well, I'm not very familiar with dating Abercrombie tags, unless it looks vintage like the other one just looked. But there's the tag. Goodwill had this priced at 15 bucks, didn't sell, but you know, it's summertime. But I think in the wintertime, in the fall, I can probably get about 30 for this. We'll see. I mean, it was a little heavy. I mean, I probably paid about 5 bucks for it, because it's wool. I've been doing really well with LL Bean. Usually it has to be like their like hiking gear or outdoor wear. This is just a cardigan sweater. I mean, I sold a women's LL Bean cardigan for 15 bucks a couple weeks ago, and this is a wool blend, so I feel like it's a good pick. Just simple, basic LL Bean. Red pants. These are White House Black Market. I really want the value of White House Black Market to be there. I bought these with the hopes that they will sell for at least $15. Who knows? They're red, skinny, cropped pants. I should get 15 out of them, right? I mean, originally these things were probably like $75. Snagged some tempo shorts. They're kids' tempo shorts, but even to kids' tempo shorts will sell for 10 for me. I've been doing really well with my tempos, you guys. If you've seen my posts on Instagram or you're following my store at all, you'll see that all the tempos that I have saved since last summer, I put up in June, early June, and I have sold over half of them for sure, anywhere from $15 to $22. So that decision to hold off and sell in season has paid off really well for me. I do it every year. If I try to sell them any other time besides summer, they just don't sell as well, but those tempo shorts sell really well for me in the summertime. So that is one thing that I will store up for that. I might keep this for myself. It's a Columbia jacket, like pullover jacket. I love this space dye. I think I actually got two of them. One full zip and one half zip. And they're both my size, so I might just keep them both. I snagged another Calvin Klein piece, you guys. You know what Calvin Klein looks like. It's just a sweater, but it's new with tags. So I figured new with tags, and it's a medium. Somebody bought it at TJ Maxx. I'll probably get at least 15 for it. Nike Pro does really well for me. It doesn't really matter the condition as long as there's no holes or stains. So these are very worn. There's lots of pilling on the back. There's some stretch out on the back of the, you can see kind of like the elastic. I will probably just auction these off because they are pretty worn. I mean, the swoosh is completely faded and peeled. But people that like these like them for function. They'll wear them under their shorts or if we're working out, running, and they just need a good pair of functional running tights. So I will probably throw those up on auction because of the condition, but I am confident that they will still sell. This was in a throwback pile. I couldn't see anything wrong with it. It's Quacker Factory, which, you know, is another brand that still does pretty well. Not as good as it did when I first started eBay. It's not a plus size either, but it's a sequined hoodie, lightweight hoodie. It should sell for $15. Another Eddie Bauer piece, but it's a Nordic sweater and it's new with tags. I scored on some new with tag stuff today. These Nordic prints do really well in the fall and winter for me. So I think I should probably get at least 20 for this sweater. Picked up Victoria's Secret tank top. Thinking this should sell for at least 15, right? Love pink. Okay, I took a risk on a couple of these jerseys. This one doesn't have a brand on it. They're dingy, and they look like they're older. So it's a Giants button front jersey, and it's super dingy. So, well, maybe it's supposed to be cream colored and not white. I'm not sure, but there's no brand tag on this one. So I'm gonna have to do just a little bit of research. It's the San Francisco Giants Baseball Club. Even if this sells for 15 bucks, it's still worth it. Like, I feel like it's gonna sell for something. So I am not a sports person whatsoever. I don't know. I don't follow sports. I don't even understand how the game of baseball works. It's baseball, right? Pretty sure it's baseball. But yeah, that's, I came from a sports loving family and I just never got the bug. So I have a few friends that I default to. Sorry, look, I have a fuzzy on my face. I have some friends that I default to if I don't understand or know a logo, or I'll throw it out to the Instagram community and be like, help me, what team is this? Who is this player? And they help me get by as a reseller of sports memorabilia. So here is a North Face fleece pullover. Probably get about $20 for this. It's just a basic thin fleece. I got another Giants. This is super dirty, for sure. It's Majestic brand, and it's older. It's Barry Bonds. Hey, I know it's Barry Bonds. Sorry. The only reason why I have any kind of identification to sports anything is because of my family, because just growing up around people who love sports, you pick up on things. But that's why I don't really know anything older than like 2005, or newer than 2005. Anyway, so it's dirty, it's dingy. I will probably auction this stuff though, because I feel like, because I don't really know what it's worth, auctioning is just going to be my best bet. Some good basic pieces. It's a Columbia quarter zip jacket, size large. It's in great condition. That will go for at least 16 to 20. Same with this. It's like a basic Adidas. Sorry, I'm not showing you the tags on some of these brands just because I feel like Columbia and Adidas, you guys know those brands, right? Basic pieces. I love them. I like to keep those around. Here's a cool J. Crew. It's a women's, like, really lightweight. It feels like a wool sweater. Let me pull the size tag here. Do you know with J. Crew, it's one of the only brands that has a style number that's easily found. Of course, this one I'm not going to be able to find it. No, well, no, because it's the tag's ripped out. Well, anyway, if you have a J. Crew piece, check out the side tag. And there, if you find a style number, plug it into Google, and normally you can find out the style name for your keywords. I will not be able to find that with this because somebody cut out that tag, but it is a J. Crew piece. I'm assuming it's wool. It feels like a lightweight, thin, like merino wool material. But I will just disclose all of that information in my listing. Picked up some waterproof Columbia pants. These are always good for $20, $25. They smell like camping. Here's a Brooks Brothers lamb's wool sweater. I know some sellers do really well with Brooks Brothers. It's always been very hit and miss for me. But I'll put this up for 20 bucks in my store. It's a good size. It's an extra large, yeah. All right, guys, that's bag 2. Woohoo! This brand always confounds me because I'm not personally a fan of it, but it sells really well. This is flax, and it's a linen. It's a 1X, so also there's like little sayings on the tags. This one says, I am open and receptive to all people. I am open and receptive to all people. If you're nice. So this stuff does really well. I'm thinking $25, $30 for this. I'll probably price it at. It's a good time for basic shorts right now. These are just some Nautica cargo shorts. Nothing fancy. Men's cargo shorts. No matter really what time of year, they're selling well. I was really surprised to find this in the bins. It's a North Face brand new with tagged sweatshirt. There's nothing wrong with it. I thought for sure the zipper was going to be broken or something. You know, it's nothing too fancy. I'll probably put like 35, 40 maybe on this. I always want to price North Face higher than its going rate on eBay right now. But I know that the market has declined on North Face recently, unless it's like a down jacket. But I will check comps before I price it. But off the top of my head, that's about what I'm thinking I'll put it up for. Picked up some REI nylon shorts. Any nylon shorts that are belted like this go really quickly. They're women's, not quite as good as men's, but I'll probably still sell these for about $16. Let's see if I can get that tag to you here. REI. I may have missed the velvet trend altogether. I don't pick up this brand normally, but it's a solid black velvet dress. It's Jones, New York. I will pick up Jones, New York if it's plus size, for the most part, if it's like a nice style plus size piece. This is not plus size, but it's just a solid black velvet dress. So I know last year it was really popular. It was in season or in style. I'm not sure if it is this year, but I figured it's worth picking up and seeing if it can sell. I just noticed that my little Olaf is sticking up in my in my video. Cool. Olaf just hangs out in my little compartment there. Here's a another Chico's piece. This is just a jacket, simple jacket, but it is a size 2. We're getting better on sizing here. I'll probably get about 15 to 20 for this one. So this is Koi scrubs. We've talked about Koi scrubs before. I don't pick up all scrubs, but I will pick up Koi. This one is new with tags. It's one of the, like, it's interesting though. It's like got the built-in t-shirt look to it. But it's brand new with tags, which is great. So I don't even know. I haven't picked up new with tags Koi before. So we will have to take a look at that. I haven't looked at comps on this either, but I just thought it was really cute. I'm collecting clothes for my best friend who's getting ready to have her first baby boy next month. And so if comps aren't great on this, I will just give this to her. But it's Gap Disney Baby. So I haven't seen this line yet. And it says on here, Dumbo. I don't know if you can see that. Dumbo. Anyway, it's super, super cute. So, I mean, I have tons of this kind of stuff in her bag. So I'm like, well, if I can sell this for $25 and like buy her diapers with it instead, I'll do that. But if comps don't look good, I'll just put it right in her bag for her. Here's a Prana piece. I love Prana. I will always pick up Prana at the bins. I will even pay up for Prana if it's a certain style at retail stores. Here's another good, just basic Life is Good. Person in a hammock. Women's shirt. This should sell for about 10 to 15. Nothing big. All right. Don't normally pick up blazers. I haven't had great luck with blazers, but it's a Brooks Brothers blazer, so I didn't look up comps, but I figured I would give it a shot. It's in good condition. The size tag is there. Let's see if I can pull up. Here we go. So there's it's the 346 Brooks Brothers, which I think this is maybe their lower end brand. I don't know a lot about Brooks Brothers. I know that I've heard a lot of resellers say it's like one of their Bolo brands. When I say Bolo, B-O-L-O, be on the lookout. I will not say that it is one of my Bolo brands, but at the bins, a nice wool blend blazer. Figure it's worth picking up and seeing what I can sell it for. This stuff that I'm just throwing and not showing you is just stuff I picked up for my kids. So I'm not trying to keep anything from you. It's just I figure you don't want to see that. All right, so these are convertible hiking pants, and I may have mentioned this on previous videos before. They have the zip-off pant legs, so they're pants that convert to shorts, hence convertible. I will pick up any nylon convertible pants. I don't care what the brand is. So these are White Sierra, not a brand I would normally pick up of anything else, but convertible pants, yes, they will probably go for 15 to 20. All right, guys, we are down to the last bag. And then I gotta organize. It's Saturday, and my husband is helping my sister move, and my son, my youngest, is really sick. Unfortunately, he came down with a pretty yucky bug the other night, and he's still recovering. So he's napping right now. He doesn't take naps, but he's napping right now. So that's actually why you're getting a haul video on a Saturday. Normally I am doing things with my family, but because my husband and my oldest son aren't home and my youngest is actually sleeping right now, I figured this would be a good time to do this. So onward. This is a Nike sweatshirt, just basic plain sweatshirt. It's a little bit faded. These Nike basic pieces are my bread and butter. So I'll probably sell this for like 13 to 16 bucks. I do charge shipping on anything over a pound. This is over a pound. So I know it's been a while since I've done a video, so I'll just run down that's still my operation. I do free shipping on everything under a pound, unless it's like my bargain basement pricing. So it's kind of like if I priced it to sell and get out, or auctions, I charge shipping on those too. So this is over a pound. I'll charge shipping on top of whatever my selling price is. Seems to work really well for me, and it protects me on the returns so that I'm not stuck with heavy shipping costs. So not on the return, because if somebody is returning an item because it doesn't fit them, they have to pay for the return regardless of whether they paid for shipping or it was free shipping. But I'm not obligated to refund them the shipping cost if I have charged shipping on the transaction. So if I did free shipping, I have to refund them the full price, right? Because they didn't pay for shipping, even though it was built into my price. But if I charge for shipping and the item is sent back because they changed their mind or it doesn't fit or they don't like it, then I don't have to refund the shipping. If they open up an item not as described case, which doesn't happen very often at all in my store, then I would be obligated to give them back their original shipping. So I picked this up. It reminded me of my best friend who's a music teacher. It's too big for her though. But it's a Hot Topic skirt, but it's super cute. I don't even know. It's stained. I gotta work on it. It probably won't sell for much, but because it reminded me of her, I picked it up. So Hot Topic, but I will pick up most Hot Topic pieces if they're in good condition. So here's another Chico's piece. Chico's size 1. Did I say 1? Yes, it is 1. It's like a metallic shrug cardigan. It's really pretty, and I don't think it's been worn hardly at all. So it's more of like a fall winter piece, but I'll probably put about 25 to 30 on that piece, and it should sell well. Here's another black velvet piece. It's Ralph Lauren. So I'm gonna probably just put 20 bucks on this. It's just a skirt. And then I will find out if the velvet trend is over. Here's a Zach and Rachel piece. I picked this up because it was new with tags. I sell their plus size pretty consistently for low dollars. So their plus size stuff will always sell in like the $8 to $15 range for me. This was new with tags, and it's not plus size, but I figured, well, may as well give it a shot. It's like a cute skirt. I mean, usually if something's new with tags, as long as it's not like a Walmart brand, I will probably pick it up if I'm getting it at the bins. This is a kid's icebreaker piece. Bummer. I totally didn't think this was kids when I bought it. It doesn't matter. I still would have bought it. That just means it's not going to sell for quite as much. So I love Icebreaker. It's a brand I will pick up. I will pay up at retail Goodwill for Icebreaker. Maybe not kids. So we'll see. I don't even know how their kids line sells. Picked up some J. Crew cargo pants. Nothing too fancy, but because they're J. Crew for a long time wasn't selling for me, and then now all of a sudden it's pretty popular for me. So here's a cashmere sweater. It's this Philosophy Dane Lewis. I've sold Philosophy Dane Lewis cashmere before for like $25 to $35 before. I don't think this has a hole, but I didn't look very closely, to be honest with you, because of my whole knotting up the cashmere practice. So I'm pretty sure this is a women's shirt. I feel like it's too small to be a men's extra large. But it's a long-sleeved Ralph Lauren polo. And it has this crest on it. So it's dingy, but I think I can get it cleaned up. Ralph Lauren women's clothing is so hit and miss for me. So because of all the hits I've had on it, I'll always buy it and just try it out. And if it sells for $5 in 6 months, it's still okay with me. It's worth the risk, you know, the low dollar, you know, in that case, probably 75-cent risk. Orvis is a great brand. If you're not picking this brand up because it looks like nothing, which it's pretty unassuming, but it's a great brand to pick up. It sells very consistently. The men's stuff sells faster than the women's stuff for sure for me, but I think it's brand new. It has like the tags on it. I mean, I guess this could have come from a different thrift store. It does have the Goodwill tag on it, but I'm pretty sure it's brand new. So this should sell probably in the $15 to $20 range. I mean, I've sold men's Orvis jackets for $60 to $70 before. So it's a brand that always sells for me, but the price points are all over the place. So if you haven't heard of it or you're not picking it up, look up Orvis, check comps on eBay, see what stuff's selling for, see what styles are consistently selling of the Orvis brand. I mean, that's what I like to do anyways, because I can't, and this goes for all brands, right? It's not just pick up this brand always. Sometimes it is. But when you become an experienced picker, if you're a new picker and you just started thrifting and reselling, you know, you'll catch on to a brand and then you'll put it in your store and it won't sell. But all these other resellers have told you, pick up this brand, but maybe it's a really old style or it's not a desirable style. There's all of these little pieces of the puzzle you have to put together just right. And I'm still figuring it out. There are items that I'm like, why is this not selling? It's ABC brand, and ABC brand always sells for this reseller and this reseller, but it's a matter of style and brand. So, which is something that just kind of comes with time, I think. This is a Free People sweater. I honestly, when I saw this in the bins, I thought it must be like some cheap brand. But then I saw that, and it's not the Poof tag, if you know what I'm talking about. Like, there's another metal tag like this, and it's from Poof brand, and Poof brand is worth nothing. So I was like, oh, it's Free People. The size tag got cut off. Sometimes it's on the side tag, but it's not in this case. It's an oversized sweater, so it's going to be a little bit tricky to figure out the price or the size, but I'll put dimensions on it and make my best guess and see what happens. Another Eddie Bauer sweater. It's that Nordic print. It's full zip and it's a wool blend. So again, I will not pick up most Eddie Bauer, but I put the fact that it's a popular style, the Nordic print, and it's a wool blend, and it's a brand that some people are very loyal to, Eddie Bauer. And I feel like all of those things put together will give me at least a $20 sale. So sometimes you have to just put all of the pieces of the puzzle together to make a decision on whether or not you're going to buy something for resale. Here's a men's North Face button front shirt. It's like an extra large, so it's a good size. I'll probably sell this for about $18 to $20. Here's a men's basic Columbia sweatshirt. Nothing too fancy. It's an extra large, I believe, though. So probably get about, oh, I don't know, 10 to 16 bucks for this. I kind of hit this batch of like extra large Columbia gear all in the same bin. So here's another XLX. I don't even know what that stands for. If that was like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that's like a private brand, private label piece or not. I'll have to do a little bit of research on that. But again, extra large. Found new with tags Lane Bryant pants. They're like this cream ivory color. They are, the MSRP on this, well, they were marked down final sale. It's 20. I guess I can't see the MSRP on this one right now. It's a size 14, which is the worst size you can get in Lane Bryant, because most women that are a size 14, and I'm saying this as a plus size woman who has been a size 14 through a size 24 before, when I'm a size 14, I'm not shopping at Lane Bryant. I'm shopping at other stores that carry through size 14 or 16 as a standard sizing. So that's why I don't think that this will sell very well. So I was like, oh yes, like new with tags Lane Bryant. Oh, size 14. But there are women who are very loyal to brands who, you know, maybe that's kind of what I'm going to bank on here. But they're a wide leg pant. Does that make sense? I feel like here I am rambling again. These are all my like inner thoughts when I'm sourcing, when I'm thrifting, making the decision to buy a piece, whether or not it will sell. But it won't surprise me if those pants sit on my shelf for the next 6 months. Whereas if they were a size 20, they probably would sell like in a month. But watch, they'll probably sell within like the first week, and then I'll be proven wrong, and it won't matter anyway. Here is an Avenue, again, not a brand I would pick up a ton of, but it's it's a plus size brand. I just noticed there's kind of this, like, it's not a hole, but it's kind of a thinning of the material. So I may end up redonating this back. Otherwise, it's good for holidays. A lot of people say now is the time to start putting up your fall and winter clothing, even though it's the beginning of summer, for the most part. I say beginning of summer just because my kids just got out of school a week ago. But I don't know about that. I used to only sell put up sweaters and coats in the fall, and now I'm changing my mind a little bit. I'm not stocking up quite as much stuff, and I'm getting stuff up right as soon as I purchase it. So I'm still working on that, actually, about how I feel about that. This is an American Eagle sweater. I don't pick up this brand very often at all, but another new with tags piece. So I figured new with tags, better pick it up, and it's cute. I think it's a really cute sweater. I'm almost done, you guys. In fact, the rest of it's baby clothes for my friend. I will show you this though. I don't buy baby clothes. I don't buy kids clothes to sell, but it's this, I don't know how to say it, Nargi brand. And I've heard that this is a good brand of kids clothes, and it's cute. It's like a wool sweater, so I don't know. It might only sell for $10, if that, because I don't know if many people spend too much more than that for their kids clothes, but it's cute. So I figured, and it weighs, I mean, literally this thing weighs 3 ounces, so it didn't cost me anything. So anyway, guys, that's it. That's my haul. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about, because it's a super hot topic in the community right now. So I just wanted to give you my take, and I've kind of been giving you my take a little bit throughout the video of slow sales season. Sorry, let me take a quick drink of my kombucha. In my, did you see my cool cup? In my Looney Tunes, vintage Looney Tunes cup. My grandma had this cup in like storage. My grandma passed away last year, and I helped organize and clean out her house. And so when we were going through her things, there was like this giant treasure chest full of dishes, glassware. And I was so excited to see a bunch of this stuff. It's all dated 1976. It's like the Pepsi Collector Series. Let me get it back in frame here. Pepsi Collector Series mug. So I'll show you. For those of you who actually like care about this and not just clothes. Anyway, so I scored that in like a Tweety Bird cup and gave a couple extras away, and I sold a couple as well. But I love that stuff so much. When growing up, my dad and stepmom had a bunch of these kind of collector's cups, but we were never allowed to drink out of them. And so I always wished that I could drink out of the cartoon character cups. And now that I'm a grown up and I have my own, I will drink my kombucha out of my cartoon character cups. Anyway, I digress. Let's talk about slow sales. So, here's what I'm doing right now. And again, I've talked to you a little bit about this through the video so far. I always experience a summer slowdown. Always. For 5 years, I always experience a summer slowdown. I am not as slow this summer as I was last summer, but I'm slower now than I was in the fall, winter months. So that's normal. That's typical. I'm really trying not to sweat it. So my goal through the summer is to list every day. So when my kids are in school, I'm listing about 20 to 40 items a day, sometimes 60. I think my best ever was 80 items listed in one day, but that was an insane day. And I think it was mostly bras, which list really fast for me. So during the summer, my goal is to get 10 items up a day, because I can list 10 items in an hour in the morning when they're still sleeping. And then at least I've got movement in my store. So that's key number one. We always say it as resellers, list every day. So I don't know if there's a difference between listing 10 items in a day and listing 40 items in a day, if that's going to bring more buyers to my store or not. I think the key really is just consistent listing. So if you feel like you're stressing out because it's not realistic for you to list 40 items in a day, just list 5 every day. And I bet you anything that will keep the eBay algorithm wheels spinning in your direction. So that's tip number one. None of this is new information. If you've been following me or any other prominent resellers in the YouTube community, we're all kind of saying the same thing. Another thing that I've been doing is I've been dropping prices on my older inventory. So basically anything older than 4 or 5, 6 months, I am significantly dropping that price. So if I at once had it for $40, if it's been sitting in my store, and this means it's been sitting in my store for 4, 5, 6 months through multiple sales cycles, right? Because I run sales on my store all the time. So that means at any one point, it's been 15, 20, 30, 40, or sometimes even 50% off in my store, and it still has not sold. So I have to, at some point, get a clue and say, nobody wants this item, at least not for this higher price point. So what I'm doing is I'm dropping that price to about either $10 or $12. Buy it now. I'm accepting best offers and I'm charging shipping. So basically, if somebody comes at me with a $5 offer on that item, I will take it. So I know that if I have priced it that low, it is an item that I want out of my store so I can make room for more inventory. So if I get a notification that I got a best offer for $5 or $6 on an item that I have priced between $9.99 and $12.99 and I'm charging shipping for it, I'm going to take that offer. It does two things. It gets the item out of my store, which is ultimately my goal. I buy all of my stuff at the bins for the most part, so I'm still making a profit even if I sell it for $6 plus shipping. I'm still making a profit. It might not be huge, still profit. Even if I just make my money back, I'm okay with that if it's that old. It's better than donating it back, in my opinion. The second thing it does, and this is what I've only recently keyed into, it's actually triggering something in my store to bring more buyers to my other items. Because eBay says, hey, this seller is selling stuff. Let's bump her items up in best match. This is all speculation. Nobody from eBay has told me that. This is just my experience. Because I had a weekend where I discounted a bunch of items because I just needed to make sales. And I told myself I would accept every single offer. Every single offer. So every best offer that came through, I accepted it. I had my highest weekend that I'd had in a very long time. Because the more offers I accepted, the more offers I got. And so when you looked at my average price at that point, it was fantastic. That's not to say that I accept every best offer. If I just listed an item 2 weeks ago, a week ago, and somebody comes at me offering me 50% of my asking price, I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna counter. So I'm talking about, like, this item's been in my store for 6 months. It needs to go. I'm not a big fan of long tail. And by long tail, I mean stuff that could sit in my store for 2 years until I find the right buyer. I just feel like clothes is just not the market to be long tail in. Okay, sorry, I took notes. And then the other thing that I've been doing, and this actually has not really been paying off for me, is running auctions. So I posted a little bit ago that I'm running a lot of auctions right now, and I would say a very small percentage of them are selling at my opening bid. I'm not having any price wars, auction wars, bidding wars is the word I'm looking for, on my items at all. And then stuff is selling for my opening bids. So what I did, from the advice of other resellers in the community, is I'm still running auctions, but my opening bid is higher. So, but I kind of feel like, what's the point in that if they're still not selling? If my 5 to 7 day auction ends and it's still in my store and nobody has bid on it, then I basically just put it back to my low pricing strategy. $9.99, $12.99, best offer, run a sale, get it out of here. So I'm doing both. I think auctions bring movement to your store regardless, though. So I'm going to keep doing auctions on those older items, but I'm not sold on it. So that's my advice with a caveat, if that makes sense. And I already covered lower dollar items bring sales. So those are my best clues and keys and tricks and tips of how I am getting through the slow summer slump on eBay. Again, I'm having a better summer than I did last summer, so I'm going to call that a win. I'm still pretty happy with my sales overall, and I just know that fall is coming. August, September tend to always be on the upswing for me, so I'm excited. building up my inventory for the fall and winter. Did I say fall and summer a minute ago? I might have. Anyway, that's that. That's my 2 cents. This is such a long video, you guys. Thanks so much for hanging in with me. I guess that's just what happens when my kid is sleeping and I'm killing time. So thanks for tuning in, you guys. If you like this video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them in the comment section. I will do my very best to get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks so much for tuning in. Come follow me over on Instagram, you guys. You can find me at Thrifting for the Nest, and I will see you when I see you. Bye.